So, Ryan, start of the week. How's it been?
Good. I've been decent. My week went pretty well. I just have to work a lot next week and today extra because every like 4 people are out of town on vacation at the same time. So I'm like one of the
Okay.
only people that's still here.
Okay. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
What about you?
Yeah, good. I did my first like full week of like my work place.
Work. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
like work, and that was really cool to get that, and like I learned a lot, and obviously I'm there for like the whole like summer break pretty much. So like apart from one
Hmm.
week, I'm away 1 week. Um, but no, it was actually
Are you are you gonna get paid like bi-weekly or weekly? Like, did you get
uh,
paid yet, or is it
no,
in
it's a
two
month.
weeks?
It's monthly, so I know that's
Monthly
quite what.
even?
Yeah, I know. Like a lot. I was speaking to someone from America the other day, and like they said, like, when do you get paid? And I was like, monthly, and they were like, who gets paid monthly? I was like, I'm from England. It might be a little bit different. Like, I don't know about you.
Oh, I got a flip reset on one of their cars. Oh my god. I need boost now.
Just
I
like,
never should have been able to save that. One of them like stopped me and I got a flip reset and then I just
I did notice it looked a bit
half
like.
flipped off. Oh no.
I feel bad, man.
I was
Maybe
trying to
that
double
was the
flip.
karma for maybe shouldn't have saved the last when you got the flip
Yeah.
reset. Um, but no,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, apart from that, it's been alright. I don't know if I've ever spoke about them in the series or.
Gee,
Yeah,
sorry, I was
I got so
audition
confused.
was
Yeah,
it?
I thought you were gonna leave it, and then like when you hit it, although it was like good and it did come straight to me, like I almost choked a little bit. I was like, okay, oh god, did I get this wrong? Um,
Yeah. I
I
made
got
that a
this.
lot tougher than you.
I was gonna. I should. Ah, I tried to go. I knew
It's
it
all
was.
good. I
Yeah,
always feel weird when that happens because there's a part of me that's like, maybe I should have been somewhere else. And I was like, no, I feel like I should
no.
expect the ball not to go
Yeah,
straight into
yeah,
the net.
yeah,
Like, that's okay. Like,
yeah. I just hate the kickoffs from straight. Like I don't know. I've never really been
oh, those are my
that good at them
favorite.
from straight. I don't know. I just have a tendency to miss them. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know if I've ever spoken about this particular person on.
I only have 12.
Oh,
Yeah, why did I even
see,
try?
no, it's not
See,
because I
now
put
I'm
it straight
just...
at them because I'm trash. But it's like this. Oh, there's raining. God, I hate it when it rains here. For some reason, my internet's good. Don't get me wrong, because obviously I would be able to play like on like EUE. Saying that though, I am on 126 at the minute. That's because of the rain. So like the rain is that bad. Like it like affects like
Yeah,
my internet, and the more it rains, the worse I am. And
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
like just heavy rain will just disconnect me from the internet completely. So I pray that doesn't happen. Um, like it's really bad. Like it's almost like a tent, like a tent that you go like on holidays
Yeah.
in. Sometimes, like my room that I'm recording in is like a tent. Like that's what it sounds like. The rain is like that loud. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like magnified. Um,
Yeah.
like I had no boost. I had time like completely wrong.
Yeah, I got 12. Or, well, I got 12s.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Especially because I managed to pick up 100. I should have really said. That's why.
Yeah, I'm way back now because I still needed boost. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean I've got zero boost, and this is really awkward for me. You can get that? Nice. But the last few weeks have been weird, man. Like, I know, like, I'm very sort of like, and people will know this who like watch a lot. I'm like very open. Like on my channel, it's just like part of me. I've always just sort of, just when I watch stuff my own, I'm very much just sort of open towards people that are very comfortable in like telling whatever to like their community. Um,
Yeah.
so I knew that like if I ever did like a channel or whatever, and even if I got somewhat of like a following, like I don't even care if it's like my family and close friends, like I'll basically say like whatever that I ain't afraid of anything, and like I feel like everyone else like should know. Well, not they don't need to know, but I'm okay with saying that. So why not share like as much of my life as I'm comfortable with, you know, with
Right,
anybody
yeah.
who shall view upon it, you know. Should have definitely said
Right,
that.
yeah.
I don't know. First last few weeks they've been very like up and down. Like, and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, that'll happen most of the time.
I may have like, I think I might have spoke about like in passing before in a different video, but like I ended up like getting to know this like Welsh girl, and
Right.
like I said, I don't know if I've spoke about before. I might have just said like a girl and not specifically said anything more about her. And it wouldn't surprise me because a lot's gone on in like a few weeks. So, and we've done a lot of videos. So, it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere there's some like story or whatever about her. But yeah, and I don't know. We were just very.
Oh, so that's fun.
I know. I saw that. Go on.
No.
Oh, what save?
That's
We
hard.
were very close. And the thing is, sorry, I tried to hit that bad, but yeah.
Fine.
We were very close, but the thing is, she like there was like another boy that she was speaking to. Like it wasn't like a cheating thing or whatever. Like they weren't together like at the time. But we
Yeah,
like
nobody was together with anyone. I got you.
yeah, but she had known this boy for like 4 months or whatever, and they were very like on and off. And
Yeah.
like I happened to like luckily and unluckily at the same time, but I happened to like stumble in her life like when like they weren't like a thing or weren't like together, but they were still like sort of talking. So it meant like I could end up getting like close to her, but then it also meant like the downfall was that well, basically, long story short, she ended up getting with this guy again recently, like in the last week or so or whatever. And basically because he asked her out and it like sucked. Like I've honestly not like the few days after and still now like I've never been like down more like in my life, which I know like people say that's so stupid, you only know this person for a week, how on earth can you get so attached? But I don't know, I do, and I'm just that sort of like the person I am.
Right.
Like I suppose it's because a lot of it being from like not really having like a lot of experience and not really even coming from like a family as such that's even like very much known for like giving a lot of affection. Do you know what I mean? So when
Yeah,
when I got close
get
to this girl, it just felt so like special, and I don't know. And then when she was like this girl, and when she said like obviously this other guy had asked her out, and she was like yeah, it sort of sucked because like I had as well, but also they'd had a thing and they'd known each other more. So obviously when he asked her out, it was more of a like a yeah. Like the only reason she didn't say yes or whatever to me was because she was almost like, from what I can gather, like waiting on him, like to see
Yep.
like what was going to happen.
Then both of those people before.
And it's like, so yeah, it sucks, and like I sort of like ended up getting dead down about it, and then but I still wanted to like have her as like a friend, you know what I mean, like and get close to her, just in case like you never know what happens like down the future or whatever. Like I said, like in like my whole like 17 years, like she's been like I only known her for a few days. I mean, in my 17 years of living, after like 3 days of even just knowing her, obviously I've known her for like a few weeks now, but just after the three first initial days, it was like I connected with her more than anyone else, and I'd heard things and like been treated better than most people ever have that I've known for like years. So I don't know, so I was like, I can't let this person go, like I need them there, and like so I've been talking to them, and then like a few days went by, and it was like chatter here and there and stuff like that, and then I called her like a few times when we like she never like said like who she was going out with or who she was going to choose. I called her all the time, not all the time, but like a few nights, like I called her for a few hours and stuff like that, and we'd send voice messages to each other, like because I'm someone that very much likes vocal interaction, like conversation. I think I've spoken about this before, about saying how like I'm a social person living in an antisocial person's body. And like I thrive off vocal communication, so calling her and like voice message to her I absolutely loved, and I spoke to her like twice before, like I've spoke to her like twice on the phone, when like she wasn't going out with this guy, and lots of numerous of voice messages. And then when she got with this guy, we did speak one night again on the phone, just like as friends or whatever, and it was really, I know, yeah, and it was like really cool. And then I asked her like the other day, like after about a few days of like just talking to her casually after, and me being like feeling not very like great about the whole situation, I said to her like, oh, can we call or whatever? And then she ended up saying that like she doesn't want to call or send voice messages because she feels like bad, and she knows that like it would make the other guy like sad or upset, the boy like sad or upset or anything, you know, because she was like, you know, I get very jealous as well, and I know if that like that was him just talking to another girl. And I'm like, and like, don't get me wrong, like I 100% get that, but at the other time, like, wasn't like anything was like gonna go on between us. It was just sort of like she was just helping me out, and we were just sort of talking as friends, you know.
Well, that's pretty rude of her to do, to be honest. I mean, what I was gonna say is like, when you were saying that you still want to be friends, I was gonna say something to the extent of, like, yeah, you never want to be scornful. Like, like if you're into a girl, you should want what's best for them. Like whether.
Oh yeah, that's what I said to him. Even though I was devastated, I was like, I'm so like glad you're happy, and like that's the most. Like, that's the most I could have asked for. Although it sucks like my feelings, like I'm used to it in a way.
Everybody like, should be. Well, I guess you're still not really much of an adult, but you're on the cusp for sure. And everybody should be enough of an adult to just like understand what. Yeah, right. To understand what's happening, like, you know what I mean, and like just kind of not be afraid of it or. Oh.
Yeah, and so it's just, and then after like that, like, oh, nice.
Thanks.
Okay. After that, sort of like it kind of just really hurt me inside to sort of like, not like, I don't know the right way to say it, like I don't want to like, because I don't mean it in a mean way or whatever, but it was like a stab in like pain basically, and it was like, it was almost like a sort of like a genuine fear that like I got on so well with this girl, and that now I might never be able to hear or see her like again. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah. The only advice
really
I can give about, as I say, the only advice I can give about that is to just maybe try to like do more to care about yourself. Like I think that's like really hard for people to do, and it's very easy to be like, oh, if I just had this one other thing, if I just had this one other person, or like I would do so much to help them. But like, if you would do so much to help other people, but nobody wants to help, maybe you should like do that to help yourself and do the things that you want to do for you, and then like maybe once you've done that, you'll find somebody that's doing the same thing, and then you won't have to fix somebody, and somebody won't have to fix you, and there'll be a lot less pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like my therapist says that all the time. Like I will put anyone like ahead of me. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't care about like myself enough, and I get that, and you know, I have my own arguments. That's a completely different argument for a different conversation for a different day. But you know, it's like, yeah. And so like, just very quickly before we end off the video, just in case any eagle-eyed listeners really want to know the end of the story, you know, it was just like. So after that happened, I sort of like realised, I was like, look, she's happy, that's great and all, you know, I'm not gonna really be able to get the, what's the word I'm looking for, like, satisfaction I need by this, not as in like I don't mean in a sexual way or romantic way or whatever, just I can't get sort of like the attention and affection I need from just, you know, sort of like, kind of messaging her daily. Do you know what I mean? Like it kills me inside to know that I'm just messaging her and she's like really happy with another guy, which I'm so happy with, but like just to know the fact that I won't be able to like speak to her or hear her, and it's like even when like she didn't say like if she was going to go with it, was like she wanted to like meet up and stuff like that, and now it sucks because like that probably won't happen in the meantime. And it's like she's even like said to me like herself, like she still really does have feelings, and she obviously really likes me, and like even like extent like loves me or whatever, and it was like it'd be so difficult. She was like, I do want to like meet up still, and that's like, and you know, it was like, but it's gonna be difficult because when I meet up, I'll just want to like, I don't know, different stuff like this, and it's like, she was like, it would be really difficult, but I do want to see you, and I wish like I could, like stuff like that, and so like I said to her, look, I'm gonna like take a step away. I was like, because it kill every time we talk, like it's literally physically killing me inside. Like just talking to you, not being able to hear you, and not being able to sort of get the interaction with you that I like really want. So I said like, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not gonna just like disappear out your life. I was like, I'm just not gonna like maybe talk as much. I'm not gonna like initiate like many like conversations all the time because that's another thing with like me, even like with this girl like called Carys, who I'm so like close with and like closer than anyone else. I still feel like a lot of time I initiate and carry a conversation a lot just to try and keep them around, you know what I mean? And I feel like I almost force and like pressure them. So I was like, listen, I was like, I'm not gonna maybe initiate, and it's just like, yeah. So since like in a week I've been like gone for like 2-3 days, not said anything, and then like popped up, and then like we've had like a little conversation, and then like today, like last night and today, like we spoke a little bit as well. You know, like she put something on a Snapchat story. I started talking to her because I like replied to her Snapchat story, and I was like started talking to her about it, and it's just like we are so close and we both really like each other. It just really sucks, like the scenario. And it's like we both so badly want to see each other in a weird way, and both so badly want to like be with each other, but it's just in a way she obviously wants to be with this other guy more, or else she would. Do you know what I mean? That's like the only part of me which like sucks. Cause it's like, so you say this, and I do believe you, but it's like you obviously there's something that this other guy has that I don't, which like is obviously making you stay with him more. If you get me. It's like,
yeah.
You know, and she even said to me, like, she was like, the other day she was really thinking about me and like craved me or whatever, and I was like, why don't you just have a like message me? I said to you, like, you can message me at any time, and it's like I do really want to meet up, but I've got to meet up with like him first, because that'd be like more unfair, because after them knowing for 4 months, and you know him actually being her boyfriend, you know, and then she knows me for like 3-4 weeks, and then she meets up with me. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I can see, like, I understand that, like, at a moral standpoint, like, why you'd obviously want to meet up with your boyfriend before you meet up with some guy that you also like, that there is something there with, maybe. So yeah, it's been like just dealing with that not constantly, because like I said, I've taken a step back from it, but it's just I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what else to say other than like it's a long life. If something's supposed to happen between you and her, eventually it will. If not, maybe you'll probably end up finding somebody that's better than you, and you know, maybe, I don't know. I've always, like, if a girl split between me and another guy, I've always been like, okay, you can have him. Get like we can be friends, but like that's just not how I roll. Like like if you can be split, which I mean, I know it's tough, especially when you're like not actually dating yet and you're like in the process of trying to find somebody. Like you're normally talking to multiple people at the same time. That's like a very normal thing. So like it's a little bit different, but I don't know if she's like officially dating him but still feels some way towards you, then like I wouldn't even, because I'd be afraid of that. You're gonna be afraid of that happening the whole time you guys are together anyways.
Yeah, that's another thing my therapist said, that like, oh, if she ever chooses you, don't you think you'll ever be like nervous 24/7, that like everything's like all too good, and that like don't you think that you'll feel like everything is all too like good, and that like maybe like the same thing is like happening? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
it's,
I get that, but like I do really trust her. Like I don't know, I know this sounds really stupid and corny and stuff like this, but currently out of every single person I have met in like 17 years, there is no one like I want to be with more than her. Like she's just, do you know what I mean? Like, and I've said to her like even today, for example, like even half an hour before this like recording, I was like, look, I was like, talk to me later, because we were talking about something a little bit like more in detail, which I'm not going to get into. But and I was like, okay, I was like, that's fine. I was like, by the way, text me on Snapchat later, or whatever. We'll talk like later or whatever. And she was like, okay. And I was like, just remember that like currently and probably for a long time, from what I can see, like I will still always like be here if you ever want like anything like between us, like. You know, like I'm not gonna sit around here and say like I'm waiting, but I'm waiting. No, but like I'm like while she's like still around and sort of like has interest in me, I'm not gonna actively go out and try and find somebody else. But then I'm not also gonna like reject and snub like other people if like they have an interest in me, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
for
gonna be
sure.
one of these like losers that just sits around and does nothing, you know. So,
Right. Yeah. I get that.
So yeah, I don't know. Like the first 3-4 days with her were just like my like best like happy stage. Do you know what I mean? Because it was like I'm not used to hearing.
You
the
felt
sort
like
of
you had
things
that
that
for the
like
first time,
yeah, it was basically like having an unofficial official girlfriend. Because that's what I imagined it would like be like, and it was
End up
very sort of
being.
like very similar to like how I like imagined like what being with her would like, and it was almost sort of like, oh, I've almost got like a sort of taste, and now I just sort of want that so badly, and especially like with that person, and it's like I always just think until like I can properly like have like a good relationship or just a decent one. I know like it's very hard to get a relationship that even like ends like in a good way. Like if it ends, then it's usually like 90% in a bad way. But even like even then, like this is crazy to say, and it sounds like so desperate and everything, but I wouldn't even mind having like relationships that last for like a few months or a year or whatever, and end badly, because then I'll at least know the whole process more, and I'll just get more familiar, and I'll get more experiences along the way, and I'll know then sort of like myself and where I want to be and how actively I do want to go out there and find someone. Do you get me? Like if that makes sense. And it's sort of like when I was with this Carys, it was like, you know, even she gave me more love than like a girlfriend like ever has, you know,
Right.
or like that one girl, and then most of my family members, like don't get me wrong, my family members do like adore me and everything, but we just not very good at saying it. They show it, and you can tell they do, but they're just not very good at like saying it. We're all very sort of like struggle and cringe like in terms of saying stuff like that.
Right.
So that's just the situation.